Imagine you're trapped in a castle with a terrifying beast who's told you that you are never going to be free again. Okay, hopefully, this is a situation you're never going to run into in your life. But if you're playing Belle in Beauty and the Beast, you need to think about how it would actually feel and how you would react in that situation. This is Stanislavski's acting method series, and today we're going to be talking about the magic if. I have a whole series on this with more videos to come, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video. In the series, we've already talked about finding objectives, motivation, tactics, and identifying given circumstances, so be sure you check those videos out after this one. And note for drama teachers, this video is a ready-to-go mini lesson, so feel free to send it to your students. So what is the magic if? The magic if is essentially the bridge between you, the actor, and the character. So most of the time, there's circumstances that a character is going through in a play or a musical that you have never gone through in your life. And sometimes people talk about this as method acting and really becoming the character. And I don't like to encourage my actors to quite go that far, but you do want to really use your imagination and envision these circumstances and think about how you would respond, because it's going to make more sense why the character is responding that way when you allow that imagination to be part of the process. So this is one of Stanislavski's main principles. He would ask his actors, how would you react if you were in XYZ circumstance that the character is going through? So this is where, with that opening example of Belle, you don't have to be Belle. Hopefully, you're never in a situation where a beast has captured you, right? But you can relate to things in your lives where maybe on the inside you felt trapped. Maybe you felt like you didn't have a voice. Maybe you have had moments where you wanted to go or do something and you weren't able to for whatever reason, and you can connect those circumstances and feelings to then what Belle is going through and take it a step further. So you start with what those feelings were, and then you say, okay, if it was this intense of a situation, how much more strongly would I have reacted? So why does this work? Well, it allows you to really stay grounded in the truth of the performance while also stepping into the imaginary circumstances that is the world that the character is going through. It is especially helpful when there's some kind of fantasy or intensity or something going on in the scene that is new to maybe you as an individual, but you can still call on whatever you can from your own memory and add that into the character. If you're finding any of this helpful, please like and share this video. I also do have a free audition materials guide linked down below, the 8 pieces you'll need for any theater audition. Drama teachers, I also have a free drama classroom toolkit linked for you below as well. All right, so let's dive into an example in action. So I started with that Beauty and the Beast example. So the given circumstances are that Belle has agreed that she will stay in prison forever so that her father can be freed, and she is terrified of the Beast. She has suddenly found herself in a magical castle of enchanted objects, and she's alone and afraid and dealing with that terror, right? So, the kind of questions you can ask yourself to identify the magic if you were playing Belle, how would I feel if I were suddenly separated from my family and held in a new place? What would I do in that situation if I had to choose between the freedom of someone I love, like my father, or you can choose someone else who you really love in your life, and your own freedom? What would you do if there's someone or something in your life that suddenly terrifies you? So you could even compare it to if you've ever been on a hike and you've run into a scary wild animal or something like that. Connect some version of reality that you've experienced to then what the character is going through. So, by applying the magic if, you can make a story that is as fantastical as Beauty and the Beast seem very grounded and real. So, now let's go through a quick exercise you can do to apply the magic if to your acting and see if it enhances your performance. So go ahead and get a monologue or a scene that you're working on and start with your given circumstances and your objective and motivation, all those things that we have gone over in previous videos. And before you even go into the magic if, just go ahead and read through the scene, try to act it out as best you can, and just notice what happens with the scene. Then you're going to write down some magic if questions. So you've identified the given circumstances and your objective, and then you're going to put it back on yourself so that you, as the actor, the human who's playing this character, can connect. So you'll ask questions like, what would I do if I were in that exact situation? How would I feel if that just happened to me? Is there anything similar that's happened to me where I've had similar feelings? So even if the exact situation hasn't happened, is there something that has happened in my life that I can connect to what is going on in this scene and the circumstances for this character? After you've identified your magic if questions and answered those, you're going to perform it again and take note of how it changes your performance and if it's given you any more choices that you hadn't thought of before. The magic if can start to become your superpower in acting because you're not only focused on the character. Of course, you should be focused on the character, but you are personally relating to the character. And it's just going to allow you to continue to empathize and grow as a performer throughout your process. Don't forget to check out the free materials linked below. Happy acting and break a leg.